Good morning, you guys. Right, we are westbound on Interstate 8 and just getting into the east end of Yuma, Arizona. We're almost into Yuma. As I mentioned in my last vlog, this is where we're going to be delivering a load here to the Red Bull facility. Their facility is right across, basically it's on a cul-de-sac that's right up on the other side of the main, one of the arterials there from Marine Corps Air Station, Yuma. Those of you guys who are Marine Corps vets, I don't know, might know the street. It's practically right, it's really right across the street from, I think that base housing area of MCAS. Anyway, we are 14 miles out right now. This is going to be my first visit to the facility. I believe it's a brand new facility. I don't know. I'm kind of confused on which exact spot it's in because the address that I'm given as my target, as my dispatch destination. I can't, it's some kind of a commercial building, but I can't tell that it's actually a place with dock doors. And even more so, it's the name of there's actually a business associated with that address, but it's not Red Bull distributing. It's something else. I'm not even, I can't, some like a discount type of whatever, I think. But I did notice that on the end of the cul-de-sac, just on the east side of that place, I can tell on a satellite view that some kind of thing is being built there. I have no idea if that's actually Red Bull's facility or some other warehouse, some other business of some sort or whatever. And so I don't know, is it possible maybe that's where I'm supposed to be going to? Yeah, I don't really know. I can tell you we're here a little early. It is 3:30 in the morning right now, and the load is not due till 9. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is get over there to where the customer's at. I'm just kind of curious. I don't really anticipate it, but kind of curious if maybe if there's if I'm able to park on that street, or maybe they even have staging area that I don't know about or something. It's I'm not really sure. But at the moment I'm anticipating just get over to the customer and then send my arrival call, and then maybe PC back over to the Love's truck stop, which is literally right down the street. Yeah, a couple miles right now on that same street. Okay, there are a couple of different route options from here to get over there. Now, I was inclined originally to use exit 4 or whatever. I think it's exit 4. The one where the Love's truck stop is at. Exit 4 or 3, I can't remember. Now, I'm no stranger to Yuma. I don't come here a lot, but I'm not a stranger here either. I come here to pick up Taylor Farms loads or Tanamur and Antle. There's also a cold storage place I picked up from over here. So, but this is going to be my first visit to the Red Bull facility. Anyway, I noticed my onboard nav is actually suggesting getting off at exit 7. I want to say that's the same exit where the Flying J is at. The Flying J is up here on the north side of the freeway. But we're going to go on to the south side because there's a street there that'll take us a little bit more directly to the customer. I still kind of question if using exit 4 might still be the better way to go. Or at least a quicker route, I guess. But I was like, I got time, plenty of time to work with. I can always use a little learning mode and see what that east-west drag is that my nav ultimately wants me to take. I think I've been on part of that same street before for that cold storage place, but not much of it. So I'm kind of curious how many lights or stop signs or whatever there are on that along that route. How efficiently can I get to the customer from that exit? All right. Anyway, on a different note, my good buddy David. He was on his way to Manchester, Pennsylvania, and while he was in Ohio, he ended up having a run-in with Bambi. Yeah, so it did some damage to his truck. Shattered the the housing part of his headlight. I don't know. I don't think the headlight itself was bad, but the housing was bad, but it also damaged. I think there was a relay of some sort that actually controls that light, and I think the turn signal too, or something. So I know that needed to be replaced. He ended up getting it done over at the TA in Wheeling, West Virginia. It happened. The incident happened in Ohio. Okay, so. Well, I was talking to him after it had happened.
1.5 miles, keep right to take exit 7 towards
Okay, I don't need you disrupting me.
And then turn slightly right.
Alright, so right over here is, I think this is Tanamura and Until right here. I want to say, maybe not. Yeah, it might be. Which is I've picked up from before. Anyway, he had a concern about whether it could possibly be recorded as a preventable incident. Coca-Cola. Now, I want to say, I can't remember if Tanamura is off 12 or 7. I want to say 7. Should be like a roundabout over here. Anyway, not important. So I told him usually deer strikes are considered non-avoidables. They don't count them against you because most of the time the deer is unpredictable. Now, my experience with deer when they're near the road, most of the time if they're standing there doing nothing, they're probably going to stay standing there. Oh, you know what? Actually, I meant yeah. They're usually not going to. They're not really going to spook normally by your presence. They'll usually just keep sitting there munching away. It's usually the younger ones, the younger deer that are the concern. Okay, so I thought, yeah, this is a runabout here, I think. Now, usually, he and I were both talking about this too, with if the deer does spook, and I have seen him spook before by my presence, and I think he had it right. Normally, when they do spook, they're usually going to spook back in the same direction that they came from. If they're grazing near the side of the road, 9 times out of 10, if they spook, they're going to spook back out over off the same side that they're on already. But sometimes they cross over the median and all that to get over there. So, if that is where they, if that is where they came from, and they spook by you, by your presence, and yeah, there's a possibility they could suddenly dart out into the road in front of you. They normally don't, though. I don't normally have that experience with them. Usually when I see them running across the road, and I've had near encounters with them, usually it's because they were getting ready to cross the road anyway. Like they're getting ready to cross for it to graze or whatever. They're usually trotting or whatever, not necessarily running. Or they might be running full bore, but are already spooked by something else and just happen to be running, like maybe they think that they're being chased by a predator or something. coyote or mountain lion or whatever. So, but now, I told him one of. No, I don't think Have I gotten through this place before? I can't remember. Oh, I don't know. It's possible I might have, but. Alright, anyway, who has the green? I think it's the left turn traffic ahead. Alright, yeah. So I couldn't tell who had the green light, and until I do know, I don't want to go. You can't assume that the traffic on the left has it. I know they didn't because they're sitting there at a dead stop. So somebody had to have had it. And that's you got to figure that out. Don't do it. And anyway, so I ran the numbers on this too, and I looked up how fast a deer can run, like a white-tailed deer. They usually run about, they can run about 35 miles an hour. And now this deer that David had an encounter with, it came from the median and darted across that way and into his path. Now, interstate travel lanes are, by standard, 12 feet wide. These lanes right here are also 12 feet wide. Now, he's in the right lane. We'll say the middle of the lane is 6 feet into the lane. Okay, and it's another 12 feet across this lane, so it's 18 feet. Then you have maybe another couple of feet of median distance to work with. I want to say the center median is 18 inches, if I remember right. There's an interstate construction standard that says it has to be at least that dimension. And then you have, the median itself of and, we just say maybe 50 feet. Somewhere in that ballpark of what he had to work. What is the speed limit here? Probably too busy talking to really notice. I don't even know if I passed the speed limit sign. Doing 40 for now. I suspect it could be a little bit higher though. Probably. This feels like a 45-50 type of road. Just looking at it. All right. So one thing you should learn with trucking is translating miles per hour into feet per second. Now, usually I get it in terms of how many feet per second the truck is traveling at a given speed. So like 70 miles an hour is 103 feet per second. But but taking a deer running 35 miles an hour, I think it was, 51 feet per second, something along that line, or if I remember right, something along that line. So it'll take just about a second. Oh, that's 55 zone. For a deer to get from the center median in a typical spot, I'm trying to think of what I know of I-70 in Ohio. I think, that's where he was at. For the deer to get from the median there, where he'd probably be able to possibly see it at all, to where it's hitting his lane or going into his in the middle of his lane, 1 second. Now, the average driver takes a second and a half to react to something. The first 3/4 of a second is time spent observing, noticing something at all, and assessing whether that something that you're seeing is a threat of any kind or an obstacle of any kind to deal with. The other 3/4 of a second is time spent figuring out, what do I want to do about this? You might think a lot of times it's instantaneous, like boom, like, in a hurry. Like you know exactly what to do, but it usually it really doesn't work that way. More often than not, I mean, there might be some cases where you can react like that, but usually, 3/4 of a second is pretty fast. Another 3/4 of a second to get your brain to tell you what to do about it. And before all that happening, before you actually start to steer or compensate with speed with either brakes or accelerator, whichever needs to apply. Okay, we're getting pretty close. Yeah, this next line up here should be our turn. So basically, a deer coming from the median to in front of your truck on a 2-lane interstate. It's going to happen before in less time than you can likely react to it. So it doesn't matter if you're doing 70 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour. Probability is, if it's on a collision course with you, you're going to hit it. And now, I highly recommend you not do what this woman who I encountered on Reddit earlier today. Or no, not on Reddit, on Nextdoor. Yeah, on Nextdoor. There was a conversation in my local Nextdoor area. It was something I had posted about something I had also posted myself on my Facebook, where someone hit and killed a black bear on I-15 in the Cajon Pass. It was a pretty good sized bear too. I assume it was a trucker who hit it. It was in the number 4 of 5 lanes. That was the number 5 is the slowest lane there. And this woman was making all kinds of ignorant comments. I think I have screenshots I'll even show you on here. And then to find out this woman actually used to have a Class A license. And I'm like, how is it possible for you to make such stupid comments and actually have Class A experience? I'm like, well, you might have Class A, but was that CDL or was that driving, dude, really? How we get a fresh green and the left turn light doesn't turn green also? But anyway, like one of the things she had said that she would swerve to avoid hitting an animal just because she doesn't want to kill the animal, but she'd rather swerve into sideswipe somebody in the next lane over because they're protected by their vehicle or whatever. I'm like, are you really that stupid? And you know how many sideswipe incidents I've heard of passed by where someone ended up especially in my area, there is on I-15 in Hesperia, let's say on the northbound side, between the slow lane, over on the right side of just off the slow lane, you have let me get this zoomed in real quick. Sorry, alright. There's a ditch over there, and a lot of times people who end up running off the road and into that ditch, and sometimes they even end up going over through the fence and over to Mariposa Road. Or if they're on the southbound side, they kind of same situation, or they end up on Amargosa Road over there. And sometimes these people die. And I'm thinking, well, okay, if you try swerving and I'm the guy right there next to you, it's not going to end well for you. Or probably not. And not to mention, you could cause me to lose control and cause me to take out other innocent people as well who should not have to be involved in it. Innocent people who could even have kids in there. You never know. Yeah, that's just the absolutely stupidest thing you can possibly do. Just because you freaking love wildlife doesn't mean that that cause it. Not to mention, if you cause when you swerve like that, yeah, because this is what trucking companies also teach drivers. In CDL schools too. There's Marine Corps Air Station Miramar right here next to us, by the way. If you hit the deer or the bear or whatever the animal is that causes damage, okay, it's a non-preventable accident most of the time. Almost always going to be non-preventable. But the minute you, especially in a truck, if you swerve, okay, fuck, damn it, come on. It looked like it was a regular lane and all of a sudden it's not one. What's up with this? Okay, this street right here is my customer's street. This is a cul-de-sac, so I should be able to get turned around if okay, there's a sign. What's this? Medline. Yeah, I was looking at the satellite view. It looked like there was like a regular cul-de-sac thing here where I could get turned around if I just wanted to at least scout out and send my arrival, and yeah, and I could PC back to the truck stop and then PC back over here. Yeah, here. It's not much of a round of oh, that's nasty. Let's try to swing this as wide as I can here, so. Dude, what the hell kind of... I don't know. I mean, to me, this doesn't look like what I'd expect. I might have to call them up or something because I am really questioning this. I don't know. I might even stop and kind of scout out on foot what exactly I'm working with here. This is very questionable. It's just as questionable in person as it was before I even left the shipper. Alright guys, well, I was seriously questioning if this was even the right spot. And then I come up, I see these mailboxes right here. There's an A and a B mailbox right here with the same address that I'm looking for. And I started to think maybe it's this building here. But I had just seen a car come into that lot right there that I kept thinking was the right spot. And, you know, okay, there were people there, so I went ahead and started walking over there to, like, I wasn't really planning on checking in this, but I was really curious, am I even in the right place? Because I don't want to come in here when you know, at 9 o'clock when I'm supposed to deliver and find out, oh, I'm not even in the right spot. But yeah, it actually turns out that really is the right spot. That same driveway where those mailboxes are at. You go down that little dirt road thing there. Go down that thing there and then make a left through that gate there. And they have kind of a... they don't even have a dock door. It's like a gooseneck trailer looking thing or whatever that you just back up to dock in. He did say the guy who handles the 53s doesn't show up until about 9 o'clock. So I told him, yeah, that's when I'm supposed to be here is 9. But I told him, yeah, looking at the place, it's like I wasn't even sure I was in the right spot. So I just wanted to make sure I knew make sure I knew I was going to the right place when I actually, when it's time to come over here and deliver. So, oh man, yeah, and I got lucky because I was about ready, like really super question whether I was even in the right spot, and then all of a sudden I see like these 2 or 3 Red Bull delivery trucks coming out of the building. Now, like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh shit, okay, I guess I am in the right spot. Oh man. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and go over to the Or again, an Aviate-B Harrier right there. I know they used to always fly Aviates from here. When I was stationed in Tucson at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, the Harriers from here would come into DM a pretty fair amount. They were always fun to watch. They could, they wouldn't usually do vertical landings. They would actually, but they would come in really slow, like probably like 40, 50 knots or something like that. Much, much slower than you'd normally expect a tactical aircraft to come in at. But it was always interesting watching those. Alright, anyway, yeah, we'll get up here. I'll go ahead and run high speed up to the Loves. Maybe we'll get a truck backing in if they even have any parking available. And we'll head back over here to make the delivery when it's time. Alright guys, we are at the Loves now. This Maverick didn't exist last time I was here. There are a couple of parking spots here on this side of the lot. The one that's on this end will be probably a little bit of a challenge to get into though. I think I saw a few spots open when I was coming across the over the bridge. I think I might have seen a couple of spots open over on the back end of the lot also. So I might go ahead and try that first. Interesting. Normally I see trucks, well, actually there's a whole row right there that I can park in. At least that's how it used to always be. Oh, that'll work too. Why not? Let me get turned around so I can set up for it. Or even this one here next to Danny Herman will work. Kind of guessing at where I'm at now in relation to Danny Herman. A bit off there, but I can work it. Definitely doable. Oh yeah. Let's get a little bit closer to Herman. Okay guys, we're at 4:10 right now, or just after 4:10. I won't be here till 9 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and continue this. We have daylight hours to do it with too, and you can see the the cheesy dock setup they got there as well. Like I say, it actually just looks like a gooseneck wedge type trailer or something. Something I'd expect a hotshot driver to be pulling or whatever. That's what you dock up to for them to unload you. All right. Anyway, yeah, we'll have some. We'll show you that in a bit here. All right, guys. We're ready to go check back in there. I'll go ahead and run higher speed here in the interest of keeping the video on the shorter end. I think we already talked enough earlier as well. I had enough definitely had enough footage earlier. So now we'll go high speed it back up to the Customer Street, East 43rd. This is confusing because this lane here, it doesn't say whether it's a straight or right only lane, or straight or end right, but the sign suggests that it is. But the way it's striped, or the way only the right turn lane is striped, makes you think that it's only the right turn lane that can turn right. Alright guys, we're back here on 43rd Street now, or East 43rd, whatever. Let's see what we're dealing with here now. If the gate is wide open, I'll run right in there, but yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, so we'll go right in, and then I'll probably leave the dock door, my trailer door is closed until I get checked in. Got a bolt still on it anyway. I have the tool to get the bolt off, but usually when one of those is on, it's a no and a double Alright, that thing right there is where we're going to dock in at. I'll get it lined up with it, and then just wait on them to open the doors or whatever. I'm not gonna get stuck in this, am I? Might even need to use my interaxle diff or something with the way this is set up. Alright, that should be good for now. Until they're ready for me to bump the dock thing. So let me get checked in, and we'll continue this in a bit. Alright guys, so he was coming out as soon as I even got out of the truck. Good to go. Go ahead and start backing into it. Need to get tandems more over in that direction, so I'll do that. Ah, shit. I don't know what signal he's trying to give me. Can't tell what kind of hand signal you're giving me.
So the ramp is just like right in the middle of the truck. So really you just want the ramp to like go like directly in the middle. You don't really butt up to it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the side of the truck.
I was noticing that. I need to go further in that direction, but I thought you were giving me like a stop signal or something.
Yeah, you gotta go a little bit that way.
Okay. it's not gonna. I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I'm gonna reset over this direction. I don't know how to have enough room to get it where I need it. So we'll set it. There we go. That's a lot better. Alright, yeah. I can't see his right hand. Ah. So we good there? Okay.
Come back like an inch or two.
Okay, I think he's happy there. Alright, so we'll get unloaded here and tell you what's going on next. Alright guys, we are done unloading here. It's 9:54, so not even an hour, or just under an hour unloading. Pretty timely there, I would say. Okay, so I guess what is going on next? Guess it doesn't matter. I think I have a better chance of getting out of here in this direction. Just the way I was positioned and angled and all that. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this is the driveway right here, right? I think it is. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Just gotta make sure I don't tail swing into that wall or shut up. Alright, so what is going on next? From here, I'm going to go ahead and deadhead back to San Bernardino, drop my empty, and then bobtail back to my house from there. I got home time starting tomorrow. Be a pretty busy 3 days that I'll be off. I have medical and dental appointments pretty much all day tomorrow. Nothing serious, but you know, just routine kind of stuff going on. And then on the 3rd, I'm gonna be taking my wife and kids to get military dependa cards renewed. We call them dependas, or sometimes even dependopotamus is even as a kind of as a joke. Speaking of, I see a KC-135 it's doing touch and goes here right now. That's actually the same kind of aircraft I used to work on. It's getting ready to do a touch and go right here at Marine Corps Air Station. I was trying to look at it when I was flying over here, or when I was closing my trailer doors, but I can't tell if it's one of my units or someone else. I think that's someone else's. It's hard to tell though. Yeah, and I forgot that some knucklehead commander, I heard, wanted to remove tail flashes from the, want to remove identifying info from the aircraft because, yeah, I don't know, maybe ADBS data doesn't exist. Where you can go on Flight Radar 24 app and actually watch the thing fly. Speaking of, not long ago, I was westbound on Interstate 40 coming into Albuquerque one day, and I watched the C-17 flying out of there as I'm on 40, and that's another airframe that I used to work on. And I told my good friend John, who is an airplane nut as well. He used to do some air traffic control, and I was telling him about it. I think I was on the phone with him when it happened. So we started tracking it, and now it didn't show. It actually showed on the flight radar thing that it had come out of McChord Joint Base Lewis McChord, or McChord Air Force Base in Tacoma, Washington. So it had to have just come down here, to Albuquerque actually, probably to pick up supplies or troops or whatever it was. And then we watched it. We watched it fly out. It ended up being to Dover Air Force Base, Delaware, and then it landed there. And then I guess ended up going across the Atlantic on the next leg. Yeah, it's a pretty cool app you can use there. You can track a lot of stuff, famous people's airplanes or commercial flights, some military. A decent amount of military, but if they don't want you knowing what they're up to, they have what's called ADBS data. Basically, an ADBS transponder that can transmit the data for like these flight tracking sites to see. But it's up to the discretion of the pilot usually, or who's in charge. Anyway. That's about it. So to get over to San Bernardino, I'm just going to head west on I-8 into California. And then when I get to Calexico area, somewhere in that area, basically we're going to get on Highway 111 and 86. Take that up to where it runs into I-10 and Coachella. And work our way across 10 that way. So that's what's going on. All right. Oh yeah, and then I forgot. I was going to mention that we're getting our. I'm getting them their Dependa cards renewed or new ones, whatever. And then after that, we're talking about going to the San Diego Zoo. Then on the 4th. Taking my wife to a concert in LA. Be a group called Xandria, Xandria. They're a symphonic metal group. I would even call it symphonic pop rock or metal, whatever. I don't know. The new singer at that group, her name's Amber. She definitely has a more pop appeal with her vocal timbre than the previous singer of that group has. I kind of like it. I like the newer music more than I do the older ones. So we're looking forward to that. I don't think I'm looking forward to who they're performing with though. I think they're opening for the other group. I can't remember the other group's name. I sampled their music on YouTube and wasn't really impressed with what I was hearing, so I'm already thinking, we'll just go there and probably just watch the Xandria part of it, and then when the other group, when Xandria's done, book out of there. All right, so fun-filled weekend coming up here, I guess you can say. I will be back. Should be back to picking up another load on sometime on the 5th, probably in the afternoon of the 5th, which will highly likely be a Colton Walmart load. So, I'll probably do I'll probably do a video of that one and let you know how all that, you know, entertainment and stuff went. All right. You have a good day. Thanks for hanging out and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.